Hello guys, my name is Cyrus and today I'm bringing you next installment of the Top 10 series. Today we'll briefly talk about teamwork, or lack of it actually. I want to mention one thing before we get started. I'm not the author of those principles. Some guy called Tomi-sama wrote them a few years ago on the totalwar.org forum, and all credits for those goes for him. All I'm about to do is simply talk about each, adding some points from my personal yet rich medieval to multiplayer experience. However, they're very universal, so I believe their use will be more or less important in all Total War games released by far. There's just one big problem with teamwork. Majority of people I play with have no idea how to play in teamwork battles. This leads to a pretty frustrating experience for both players, as they simply don't understand each other. Now we can finally move to the actual content of this episode. Let's quickly define what the teamwork is. According to the great Oxford Dictionary, teamwork means the combined action of a group, especially when effective and efficient. And that's the perfect definition. We don't need more advanced one, this one is good enough. So let's jump right into the action and listen to what mighty Tomi-sama said few years ago. Principle number 1. Always stick together. Sounds obvious, doesn't it? Nope. In most of the cases, people tend to deploy far away from each other, which makes their defense significantly weaker. In addition to that, it's pretty easy to double team someone who's not close to his ally in 2v2 for example. So, your first step to become a better ally is simple. Talk with your teammate and then set up together, fight together and die together. I hate explaining such obvious and easy to understand things, but sometimes I just must have to. Principle number 2. Always search for your enemy's weakness. Nobody is perfect. I beg to say that most of players calling themselves great aren't even good. And that's the right moment to exploit it. Your enemy is probably making mistakes all the time, but can you spot them fast enough to exploit that? The more experienced you are, the less time you need to see that there's something weird, unusual, or plainly wrong with your opponent's moves. Let's take a look at this screenshot. In this case, the Russian infantry in the center is separated way too far from their cavalry. They won't be able to hunt them out in time, while Moorish front is a bit closer, but this bit was close enough to cause a chain rout among those Druzyna units and let them Moors win the battle. Moving on to principle number 3. Always take the high ground first. And this one is pretty easy. If someone is hosting fairly hilly map, then it's his own problem to deal with people using turn edge. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't listen to people calling you names, you're just shooting them from the top of the hill. They can't reach. Every aggressive action should be considered as attack, and skirmishing is one of those. Here are two things you must know. First, it's very tough to fight someone uphill. And second, if both players have same or similar skill level, the one using hill would win. Principle number 4. Always protect your generals. Indeed, General Bodyguards has 2 hit points, but it's pretty easy to lose him early on in the battle. You really don't need to use him aggressively. Trust me, on casual ranks you'll be fine with your general sitting safely behind the main lines. If you want to strike, make sure that he's covered and has a retreat path just in case. This screenshot is not great because it features a battle that I lost some time ago in one of the competitive tournaments. I took it because it shows how well my opponent protected his general. Besides keeping him in the back, he has 200 infantry unit to support him in case of the emergency. And bear with me, it was really tough task to snipe him down from this position. Principle number 5. Always look to double team a single or triple a double. Let me rephrase this one, as I really don't like the way the original sounds. There's no way that one player can beat 2 players if they play in 2v2, assuming that skill level are similar. All the poor guy can do is call for help or save his cavalry, sacrificing the rest of his army, which will lead to defeat sooner or later. So, whenever you have the occasion to double team someone, do it. People call it coward tactic, you can call them noobs in their revenge. Don't take it seriously though. What I'm trying to say is that performing an effective 2v1 is just proof of the good teamwork on the one side and bad on the another. Principle number 6. Always leave isolated army until last. This one is pretty straightforward. Focus on the actual opponent. Don't get baited by horse archers, cavalry, peasants or some infantry running towards you. Secure your rear, flanks and make sure you hit there where it hurts. Principle number 7. Always remember that you may have to become a rear guard for the group. Getting in the rear almost always results in the quick collapse of your army and defeat. You need to keep an eye on everything that is happening in the whole battlefield, and in team battles that area becomes even bigger. So my personal advice: train securing your own back and flanks in the duels online before you play team battles. That will make the whole thing easier. And keep in mind, practice makes perfect. Moving on to the principle number 8. Always regroup before entering another phase of battle. Well, most of people get pretty excited after beating their first opponent in 2v2 or 3v3 or 4v4 battle. That's completely understandable. You won, you're happy, you're eager to fight another one, you're ready to carry the game, carry from this point. But consider regrouping everything that's left over from your army next time. Obviously, this rule applies only when you have time. Sometimes you don't. You must run. Don't hesitate to run if you must. Usually though, there's a fair amount of time given to put every remaining unit in the order they should approach the next battle. Remember that it's pretty easy to throw away all the edge you gained by beating your enemy if you won't help out your rally, or even worse, if you lose your army meanwhile. So, the next time you have some time after first engagement, regroup and advance. Principle number 9. Always keep some units ready to help a teammate if needed. This one is rather supposed for most skilled players, as they don't always need all of their forces to beat their primary enemy, so at the beginning you don't really need to bother with this step. I'd be happy if I could saw you winning your first battle and then helping out the rally in time. Moving on to principle number 10. Always consider that the battle will be long and difficult. And that's the self-explanatory one. Assuming that battle will be an easy win is first step to get wrecked basically. Stay calm, fight, win and lose with honor. And now it's time to important addition. Always trust that your teammates have done the best that could be done according to battle as they saw it. Blah 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 blah. But basically don't rage if you lose. Try to understand that someone had a different point, you know. There's no way that team will be perfect and there's no way your teammate will be perfect as well. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and this guide will make more people aware of how teamwork is important. Like, share and subscribe if you find this useful. Best of luck, Cyrus, signing out.